team in assists. He's leading his team in saves. Not quite up there in shots, but he's only trailing by like 0.03 demos per game. Or demos per game. You can tell that he is that facilitator for this team. And we might not see his name a whole lot, especially considering the stats of D.I.D.H.E and Indisposed, but you can definitely guarantee that Disabled was a part of the play one way or another.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and that's the captain role that you want to have. I mean, I think as the captain, obviously being the best on the team, they are more acclimated to adapt to their second and third man. So I feel like oftentimes we expect the captain to be just this flawless, outstanding, scoring, every single goal. But really, in my opinion, I feel like the captain has that role of, okay, how can you better benefit your second and third man by adapting to their play styles, which sometimes happens, sometimes doesn't, but I feel like that's kind of a big role of the captain that's kind of overlooked. But again, looking at the tournament here, again, we are in elimination standings here. So the team that wins will, again, punch their spot in the grand finals, and the loser is going to, unfortunately, be going home today. So with that in mind, and obviously D.I.D.H.E making their first appearance on the main stage, who do you think will be winning this series today?
I don't want to be that caster that roots for the #1 seed, but I mean, Swamp Donkey as a captain is absolutely insane, especially for Div.B. I've played some twos with him, and like I've had the chance to like just be around him and like play sixers against him, and Swamp Donkey is a formidable player on the pitch. He's not only a shooter, but he's a facilitator. He is there for his team. He's there to set them up. But it's definitely going to be a fight. Disabled, D.I.D.H.E, and Indisposed, they're all really good players. I can definitely see this series going the distance, but I'm going to have to go with Car-Jitsu.
For sure, yeah, Car-Jitsu on the distance, which honestly, I think just because D.I.D.H.E has these very good second and third men so consistent, if you see something going for a crazy double right away, oh my god! Car-Jitsu coming out swinging. Swamp Donkey is not messing around.
I mean, we know him as the ground demon, but that was just too clean to not compliment that shot. Swamp Donkey holding that arrow left, trying to make it way more fancy, but that was a good clip in general. Way to start off the match here. JD trying to get another one, and Swamp is there to bring Car-Jitsu up by 2.
Indeed, and I will say, I have yet to do my prediction. Obviously, we hear the little donkey sounds coming from the crowd, but as much as I don't really want to say this early on, considering, we've seen 2 Swamp Donkey goals right away, I will have to go with D.I.D.H.E. Obviously, this could just be, I know Silk loves this term, a feeler game, a little warm-up game for D.I.D.H.E, and especially since they're first time on main stage, hopefully they can kind of ride some momentum that they hopefully will end up gathering here soon, especially since with their second and third man being so offensively heavy. So I also think that it will go the distance, but in my opinion, I think it'll go in favor of D.I.D.H.E here as we see a little bit of offensive pressure coming out from them.
Yeah, but Swamp Donkey with a really good save, opting to be a little bit patient there. JD not being patient, chooses to double commit with his captain though. This pressure is on this Car-Jitsu half. Bit of a save there on the backboard there. Disabled, trying to get a touch mid, passes it towards his teammate D.I.D.H.E off the backboard, and Indisposed is there, and they find a goal for themselves.
Indeed, nice little center pass there coming out from, who was that, D.I.D.H.E. Nice little wall read there, and Indisposed, perfect position, able to fly in there, beat out, and thread both of the defenders here to get their first up on the board here, cutting that lead in half here. Obviously, still plenty of time to score a lot more goals for Car-Jitsu and D.I.D.H.E as we see Indisposed clearing it over to Car-Jitsu half.
Yeah, Xander trying to get the catch there, but met well by D.I.D.H.E in the corner. Swamp Donkey, the captain, teeing it up for Xander, who does get a favorable 50. D.I.D.H.E backflipping, trying to get this ball away from his net. JD left alone. He needs to get some sort of touch, but that's not the touch he needs to get. Boost stolen over there by that D.I.D.H.E player. Disabled, 50 over on JD as we see Swamp Donkey. He's patient. He is a very patient player. He will wait for other people to make mistakes, but that ball is going to be dangerous. No one hits it, but no one is there to take advantage of it.
You see a big clear coming out, going over towards D.I.D.H.E half, Disabled. Almost a little double commit with his teammate here, but Swamp Donkey is able to get the Xander back pass. Swamp Donkey was slow on boost, low on boost. Trying to getting a 50 here. JD up, also low on boost. We see D.I.D.H.E low on boost. You see a lot of players low on boost here, but Car-Jitsu slowly grabbing more and more, just getting those resources here. We see Swamp Donkey up early, shot up and in, off an unfortunate indisposed redirect.
Yeah, well, I mean, what can I say here? Swamp Donkey, that's just a missile there. I do not blame Indisposed for not being able to get that save. Bit unfortunate, though, that it did go in for them, but very fortunate if you're a Car-Jitsu fan. They reclaimed their lead with a lead of 2. Swamp Donkey, though, with a favorable kickoff, trying to get it past 1. Opts to let Indispose, hit it towards his teammate there. Shot maybe got the target, but no, cleared away by, I believe that was D.I.D.H.E. Disabled, trying to get a play going there. Double commit coming from Car-Jitsu. Are they able to take advantage of that? D.I.D.H.E. off the wall, passing it to himself. Do we see a shot from him? No. Read by Swamp Donkey.
Indeed, Indisposed is up, almost looking for a crazy double tap here. Unfortunate touch coming up from Swamp Donkey. This one could be center.
No!
JD
Oh, no!
with the own goal. Not only does he go bar down miss yesterday, but he starts off with an own goal today. You're welcome.
That's not. That is not the right net. You're supposed to score it in the orange net there, JD, my short king.
Yeah, JD is 5'2" for everyone wondering.
JD off the ceiling, though, trying to get something going. Swamp Donkey bangs it off the corner. He can find a net for goal for himself. No, goes a little bit over the net. Indisposed, trying to get something, but Xander just dives in, not wanting him to set up any sort of play. As we see D.I.D.H.E. using all of his boost to get that clear towards Indisposed. He tries to pop it over 1, met well by JD, and it's just back and forth here in this corner here. Swamp Donkey going for the play, tries to get it going. Xander with the 50. This is just going to be a dead stop ball. D.I.D.H.E. trying to clear it away to get some breathing room here for this D.I.D.H.E. team.
Indeed, Indisposed meeting Swamp Donkey up right for the goal. Looking for the shot here. Almost a crazy 50 coming up from D.I.D.H.E. This one's pinched over to the corner. Indisposed is on, looking for a center pass. Low on boost here. Decides to back pass it. Here we see a tactical whiff coming up from D.I.D.H.E. Little team pinch over to back to D.I.D.H.E.'s half. Indisposed gets a nice little redirect here around JD. Swamp Donkey looking a tiny bit awkward. Does collect the boost. Looking for the flick. Is able to get this one away from Indisposed.
Swamp Donkey there, doing his ground demon antics here as we see Xander taking over for him. Not a whole lot of boost to work with, though, and this ball is just going to roll back straight to Swamp Donkey. D.I.D.H.E. with the unfortunate touch. Double commits here. Everyone is in the corner here for D.I.D.H.E. It's going to be awkward there. Teed up for Swamp Donkey, taking this lead back by 2.
Indeed, this offense just looking a tiny bit awkward there. D.I.D.H.E. maybe cutting off his teammate there. Disabled, low on boost, just kind of doing everything he can to get back off that backboard. But unfortunately, Swamp Donkey playing a tiny bit passive, but just fast enough to get that ball in before it is saved yet again here. As we see Car-Jitsu leading by 2 again. A little comfortable cushion going into the 50-second mark.
Yeah, a lot of these goals right away, though, that D.I.D.H.E. have conceded more or less have been by mistakes, just rotational mistakes, not being in that perfect position that you want to be. Obviously, you can't be perfect 100% of the time when you play this game here. Swamp Donkey trying to get the redirect there, unable to get it, enough power to get it on target. Xander finding the 50 in the midfield as we see a nice shot there coming from D.I.D.H.E. but saved away by JD, who opts to stay with this ball, keeping this pressure on. Not a whole lot of boost to work with, but the 50 goes right to his captain, who opts to 50 the 2 defenders of D.I.D.H.E.
Indeed, I thought that was going to be a crazy, unfortunate pinch coming out from the D.I.D.H.E. corner there. You see JD putting a nice little high shot on. Disabled, has the resources to get up and get that one away here. Swamp Donkey going to turn, almost a double commit with Xander here. It's going to be a potential 2v1. Unfortunately, clock winds down, and Car-Jitsu are able to take game number 1, 4-2.
A very dominant game number 1, might I ask.
Holy carry, Eric. Jesus. Calm down. If you wanted a Dr. Pepper, you could have just told me, man. My goodness.
Hey, but you kind of want to expect that, though, from a captain, especially being like that, in air quotations, best player on the team. But it was certainly very close here. But it looks like this Parched and Hidden Fennec team is going on, and Parched is leading the series 2-1.
Leading 2-1. I believe the score is 0-0, correct? 0-0, sweet, going into game number 4. So obviously Parched definitely putting up quite of a fight here. Honestly, I thought that something happened there. I thought I missed a goal or something. I heard some crowd pipe there. But yeah, not the Div B action. Well, I guess it is Div B action down at the B floor. So if you're interested in that, make sure you're watching that as well. Definitely going to be a crazy series there. But yeah, no, Car-Jitsu just looking super confident early on here. I thought that was the game again. Oh my goodness, it is too early for this. But no, Car-Jitsu looking very solid, and I think D.I.D.H.E. definitely have a chance at pushing this one to the limit. They just got to make sure that they have the comms up, their rotations right, and try not to force anything too hard.
Yeah, Div B definitely has a special place in my heart. coming there from Div-D, winning Div-B, rising up to Div-A, where I
don't talk about that.
Maybe. Sorry, Izord. Sorry, I didn't mean to stack on another.
At least I double tapped
on
you though. So,
but I mean, Div-B is full of players. They have that je ne sais quoi, that ability to potentially rise up to be that Div-A level player, and this is where you make your mark. Certainly winning LAN is going to give you a bunch of boost there, but Indisposed getting the pump. Oh! Indisposed with the ice in his veins, carrying it all the way across the field.
That is so unfortunate. The ball is going to be in one place and one place only, and unfortunately Indisposed was able to play in that specific spot, bumping that last defender of Swamp Donkey, able to get their first lead of the series here. And you see the nice little boom over to the right wall. Indisposed is on again, looking to maybe get another one for himself here. Doesn't quite get that one to go. Xander there for the redirect here. Disabled pops this one off the wall. Swamp Donkey looking a bit awkward, faked away. Disabled on, tries to get a 50. This one might be center passed, but JD able to capitalize.
Yeah, Disabled not quite ready for that center pass from his teammate Daryl. But I mean, they are up by one off of the amazing goal there from Indisposed. He just carries it over the entire pitch. Indisposed off the corner, tries to get it over one, but unable to make contact. Daryl, though, with the outlet passer is his teammate, but Indisposed, not enough boost to reach there, but Disabled tries to get a play going. Met well by JD as his ball rolls into the corner. Daryl trying to get something going, but that might prove to be fatal. Ball almost going in off of his unfortunate touch.
Say that was almost no bueno for D.I.D.H.E. A little own goal to start off the counter attack from Car-Jitsu. But we see a little boom ball back over to Car-Jitsu half. Swamp Donkey up off the backboard. Maybe going for a reset. Doesn't quite have enough boost to readjust here. Going for a skim ball. Disabled is back. Does have the boost to get up and get that one away into the corner. JD quick to capitalize. Daryl in the net here. Almost a crazy dunk coming up from Xander. Swamp Donkey follow bar down. Not quite in though. Xander low boost. Not quite able to get a touch here. Indisposed looking for another bump play. But JD able to keep that speed up. Grab back boosting, get this one away from his net.
I know for a fact that crossbar noise was loud. That was a very unfortunate missed shot there coming from Swamp Donkey. He absolutely needed that to get the tie here. But 3 minutes, that's a lot of time for Rocket League. A lot can happen in those 3 minutes here as we see Xander trying to get a shot of his own. The whiff there coming from JD, unable to make contact, but Swamp Donkey will take a boost. Hopefully trying to get this air dribble, who he opts to go for the plan B. Not quite able to get it past Daryl, who tries to get this mid for someone. Xander isn't there, but the skim off the backboard. D.I.D.H.E from Daryl.
I didn't even realize that he was still able to make a touch here.
Oh no, not D.I.D.H.E. That was just a clean double.
I was just kidding. Nice little clean double read off the corner here, giving D.I.D.H.E a nice little comfortable lead as we approach halfway through the game here. 2.5 minutes, still plenty of time to do stuff. I mean, plenty of time to make a kid, let me tell you. But Disabled putting this one into the corner here. Indisposed is on. Daryl gets a nice little 50 with JD. Keeps this one in Car-Jitsu's corner. Disabled is on. Almost a center ball. JD bumped back on defense. Fortunately enough for him, that bump was in his favor.
Indisposed trying to find a third goal for his team there. Met well by Swamp Donkey, but Xander just popping and dropping there in the corner, able to get it past the defender. Sends it towards this D.I.D.H.E pitch. Disabled with 54 boost, gets the pass towards midfield, but just a little bit too far. But two Car-Jitsu members do commit the demo on the captain. Xander needs to make a clear. JD unable to get the touch though, but no one is there to take advantage of it. Xander though with the Dominus 50, which by the way, Dominus in Div-B, that might be the first time I've seen that happen, but it doesn't matter. JD with the slot.
Indeed, JD just playing a nice little passive third man, letting his first two teammates kind of mess up the defense, able to slot this one in. Congrats, JD, you finally hit the correct net. Good job. First try, no bar down. But I will say, you had mentioned Xander in the Dominus. I will say, he had been mentioning he wasn't in the Dominus initially, but his brother Jive, who also played in Div-B last semester, was convincing him to switch over to the Dominus, and switch over he did. And now apparently I want to say he enjoys it because he hasn't switched off of it yet. So Xander using the Dominus in inspiration from his brother. Here's you see Eric there, aka Swamp Donkey, almost getting a nice little free goal. Unfortunately, didn't quite have enough power on that to put that one away. Indisposed is up. This one could be a little awkward for the defense, but Swamp Donkey there for the clear.
Disabled though with the clear towards his teammate Daryl, unable to make contact there as we see JD popping it towards the ceiling, indisposed there. Swamp Donkey though sends it towards the backboard. Is anyone up?
Oh,
yes,
no.
JD is. The demo is just gonna roll in, but the captain blocking his own shot. That is very unfortunate. They need that as we have a little bit over a minute left in this game number 2.
Oh my God, unfortunate. We saw almost another goal there coming up from D.I.D.H.E. Almost a crazy bump on Swamp Donkey there as last man. Unfortunately, he was able to dodge that or at least get a nice little pinch 50 with that offensive man. Disabled, getting a nice little 50 to the back wall. Swamp Donkey getting a skimmer. JD pops this one up. This one might be a waterfall. Xander's pre-jump isn't quite able to read that one correct. Just a little bit too fast down for him. Over-reading, typical of what I do usually. But Daryl is up, Disabled is up, looking for a little center pass here. Swamp Donkey, another own goal for Car-Jitsu. Eric says, I'm only going to get this on my terms.
Let me drive the bus, he said there. He didn't want JD to feel left out there, finding an own goal of his own. But if that was the orange net, they'd only be down by 1.
It would, yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, Car-Jitsu looking very solid, just 2 unfortunate own goals coming out here. But, you know, what can you do? What can you do? You just kind of lock in here, shake it off, maybe go next game because we got 20 seconds left. D.I.D.H.E. up by 2, so Car-Jitsu are going to definitely have to make something happen right now if they want to keep this one alive.
Xander double tap maybe, but Swamp Donkey is up, but no, the miracle save there from Disabled, denying any sort of shot there coming from Swamp Donkey.
Indeed, JD off the corner. Xander looking to put one in here. Disabled is up. JD shot on, indisposed, low boost. I will say, I don't know if you can see right now, but just a second ago, D.I.D.H.E. was at pretty much entirely low boost. So Car-Jitsu maybe had an opportunity there to get one for the road, carry some momentum. But D.I.D.H.E. able to get the 3-1 lead to take game number 2.
Yeah, I mean, Izord, this is certainly gearing up to be an amazing series there. We saw Car-Jitsu win game number 1 in a very dominant fashion, but it seems that D.I.D.H.E. has responded likewise.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, D.I.D.H.E., I don't know if you saw there, but they each had 1 goal of their own, so not one person is really carrying this team. I love to see that stat when everybody gets an opportunity to score here. And just got a little update here. Parched and Hidden Fennec obviously playing on B stage, and Parched is up 3-1 in the series, so Hidden Fennec on like life on the line as the 1 seed. We saw something very similar in Div-D last night, but hopefully Hidden Fennec can kind of come back, make that one at least a game 7. So look, hope isn't all too lost, but Parched obviously looking very, very dominant in that series so far. So if you want to tune into there, because that's obviously looking to be a pretty interesting series here. As you see almost an unfortunate own goal potential coming up from D.I.D.H.E. early on. JD gets a nice little 50, but Disabled able to put this one away.
Yeah, a bit of a scramble there in that D.I.D.H.E. half, or more so the D.I.D.H.E. demo there on JD. Swamp Donkey unable to make contact to get in front of the net. Maybe he can find the skim there. Does pop it up for 1. JD is up. He gets the reset though, but that is a very unfortunate bounce.
Indeed, Daryl is on, puts this one over to Car-Jitsu corner. Xander is up early, gets a nice little pre-jump, going for a flick. He does get it around 1. JD is up, almost looking for the pass here. Doesn't quite get there in time here. Indisposed, getting a nice little shot on open net. 1 defender left, not there to save that one though. D.I.D.H.E. gets the first goal of game number 3.
The dominant flicks from Xander just wasn't enough to get it over that D.I.D.H.E. defender, and it ends up winding into a goal here for D.I.D.H.E. up 1 for the 2nd time this series.
For sure, obviously on kickoff here. Oh no!
No way.
Not what you want to see if you're a Car-Jitsu fan. That is probably one of the fastest kickoff goals I've ever seen. JD just the perfect flip into the pinch. D.I.D.H.E. lead by 2 off of an unfortunate kickoff.
The question remains, though, is JD a sleeper agent for this D.I.D.H.E. roster?
He was paid off. He was paid off. A little $50 bill got him on the other side. But we see Swamp Donkey trying to do a little aerial read of his own here. JD is up, 40 boost, gets 50 by Daryl. Xander goes for the catch, indisposed, trying to get something going here. Demos JD. We got a water being delivered to Cosmic here because this game is just so intense. Daryl trying to get a shot on, doesn't quite get that one around the defender. Indisposed pops up, 1 defender left. Swamp Donkey low on boost, looking kind of an awkward fake. Disabled, bumped away by JD. What a bump from him.
JD bringing out the boxing gloves, slamming Disabled there in the corner. Swamp Donkey trying to find one, but the pinch there coming from those two teammates. Daryl keeping this pressure on, bangs it towards the corner. JD with the touch there, Disabled with the pop, but he gets bumped for his efforts. Xander, not a whole lot of boost, opts to clear this down, this Diddy pitch, and the whiff there, though, from Xander. Pop coming from Swamp Donkey, but he gets bumped by his opposing captain, JD. A little bit out of position, though. Does find the demo, but Xander able to relieve this pressure here for Car-Jitsu.
I was saying, this series is slowly starting to turn into like a street fight. You see plenty of bumps coming up from JD and Disabled on each other, and this and that, and demos starting to pop up. So I think these guys are starting to build almost a little bit of an in-game feud here. You see Disabled popping up, Indisposed with boost, maybe opts for the pass down, leads Disabled just a little bit too much. Swamp Donkey collects boost, Indisposed bumping JD yet again. Disabled goes missing. Swamp Donkey with the fake is 50'd back over to the corner here. Indisposed up off, looking for a tactical whiff coming out from him. He just wants to enjoy the sky, knows with like free fall. JD getting one on double. I thought that was going to be double commit from D.I.D.H.E, but Indisposed takes over in the corner, and this one's slowly going over to Car-Jitsu half.
Yeah, it just seems to be a scramble here coming from both teams. No one able to really find their footing there to make some sort of play go in their favor. Disabled hitting it off the corner, trying to get that awkward play, because those corner reads, they can be hard, they can be deadly, and I'm sure he's trying to use that in his favor. Daryl up already, though, unable to find contact with the ball. JD, not a whole lot of boost, and this ball just seems to be ping-ponging here in the middle of the pitch, though, but Xander trying to get a corner read of his own. JD, though, trying to get this ball away from Daryl. Opts to pinch it, though, Indisposed, and like I said before, it just seems to be going perpendicular to the goals here.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, both these teams are getting these great offensive opportunities, but obviously D.I.D.H.E able to capitalize on one of them and just, fortunately got that pretty lucky kickoff pinch right off the bat there. As we see Daryl going up off the corner, doing a very good job with, I will say, D.I.D.H.E is doing a very good job at maintaining spacing, not forcing anything, and just playing by the book here. You see Swamp Donkey going for a 50. Xander in the unfortunate crossfire of that clear. Daryl looking for one, fakes out JD. JD goes missing. We got two defenders in net. Just kidding. JD is back. Low boost, though. Bump play. Daryl not quite able to read that one. Unfortunately, this one is going to be back over to the corner. Indisposed looking for something here. JD on low boost, gonna opt for the 50, gets it to go his way. Swamp Donkey is there, fakes around one, goes for the flick around order, pops it up and in. Car-Jitsu cut the lead in half with 42 seconds.
Car-Jitsu heard no bell. They're here and they're ready to fight. They definitely want to win this. 42 seconds left, more than enough time to find that equalizing goal. But are they able to do it? I guess we'll have to wait and see here. JD on the kickoff. Ball doesn't go in his net this time. Daryl, full take a boost, a little bit awkward, opts to be a little bit more patient. This might pinch into their net, but Indisposed with the clear. JD, though, unable to find contact. Daryl is there, but no! Indisposed, maybe with the read, but Swamp Donkey able to keep it out of his net.
Oh my god, what a lucky bounce for Car-Jitsu. Went literally perfectly up that crossbar and straight out. And they were able to put that one away from their net here. You see JD, low boost, is able to get the touch here. Swamp Donkey is on flick around one. Not quite able to catch back up to that one before Daryl is able to put this one into his corner. Xander looking a little bit awkward here, low on boost. JD, we see all three of the Car-Jitsu players pretty much mine mid boost. That could have been an open net opportunity. Indisposed is up. Not any boost left to capitalize on this one. Swamp Donkey pops up. Daryl, and D.I.D.H.E double commit here, but Xander is able to put this one over to the wall as clock winds down. D.I.D.H.E take game number 3.
Whew. Honestly, I was expecting it to be Car-Jitsu takes one game, and then D.I.D.H.E, then Car-Jitsu, then D.I.D.H.E. But D.I.D.H.E carried that momentum from game number 2 to steal away this game number 3 from Car-Jitsu, and you have to wonder, is Car-Jitsu going to take a timeout?
I don't think they're going to take a timeout yet, considering they did win the first game. D.I.D.H.E got that. A few, I guess, quote-unquote, lucky goals right off the bat here, so that's pretty much just okay, that'll happen once. But this is also Div B, so who knows if they'll actually end up taking a timeout. Maybe they're going to try to, aura off Div A. I don't even know, because we know Div A, they never take any timeouts. Actually, no, I think we had one timeout in like pre-LAN, so that was kind of insane. But I feel like Car-Jitsu, if you lose this next one, considering how well D.I.D.H.E has been playing the past 2 games, I think you take the timeout, regroup, trying to realize what you're doing wrong, and trying to fix that here. And if I were to say one thing, I would say just let your teammates know where you are. They seem to get a little bit bunched up on defense and offense sometimes, allowing D.I.D.H.E to get those big clears and those big offensive opportunities.
And more importantly, you gotta hit the ball.
Gotta hit the ball.
You gotta lower that rate there for the whiffs because it's not gonna play well for you. Swamp there with the trying to get that flip reset there. JD pinching it off the corner, and Xander is there. Maybe the dominant power shot, not enough there to find the back of the net, but JD is up. This is just gonna fall straight into Indisposed lap. Brings it up the wall. Ceiling shot, maybe double tap opportunity, but that's such an unfortunate bounce. The waterfall was not on Indisposed side.
I'm yawning right now. Not that the game isn't exciting, I'm just tired. But Xander going for a little 50 with D.I.D.H.E at midfield, disabled. Maybe trying to get one around JD. Doesn't quite get that one to go disabled. Going for a little demo on JD. Xander is up. This one's going to go high. Not quite center enough for JD to capitalize here. Goes for the center. What a big clear coming out from disabled. Swamp Donkey going for the skim shot. D.I.D.H.E almost up. Slams this one a little bit too hard on the ground. Xander with a nice little double tap. That was almost in very dangerous territory for Car-Jitsu. They were able to knock it away. Swamp Donkey going to play on this one. Can he grab the boost? He does. Unfortunately, I think he was kind of bumped away for that one. Great center pass. But Indisposed, not quite able to get the touch around.
One thing I have noticed, though, is that whoever scored the first goal for each series is the team that won. So I guess we'll have to see who scores the first goal this series, though. Xander maybe trying to get it on target, but knocked away by Indisposed, who sends it towards the corner. This ball is just going to roll right in front of Disabled, slamming it towards that opposite half there. Tries to get a pinch, but not the pinch he wants. Swamp Donkey is up and ready, but this is just going to drop straight in front of the net. D.I.D.H.E looking a little confused, trying to get something going. It's a scramble here in this Car-Jitsu corner. 50 there, going into Disabled's favor, but unable to find the pinch for the third time to get that mid. D.I.D.H.E trying to get one of his own, pops it over one, but JD is there.
Again, just another little update on the Parched and Hidden Fennec game. Parched is still obviously at 3, so life is still on the line for Hidden Fennec, but Hidden Fennec is able to take another game off of Parched, so it is now, the series is 3-2 in Parched's favor, and actually this last game, Hidden Fennec just took in a 0-0 overtime, and they took 3 minutes to score, but Hidden Fennec did put it away in 3:09. So now, again, the series is Hidden Fennec 2, Parched 3. So that one's definitely starting to look like it's going to go the distance as well. You see Indisposed getting a nice little clear ball here. Swamp Donkey is able to put this one away.
Yeah, it's a great clear there for Swamp Donkey. Able to get that redirect off his corner to allow his teammates to come back, allow his teammates to get boost. JD, though, trying to get an air dribble, but unable to find it. D.I.D.H.E is a little bit awkward, though. Dominant shot on target. They sent the whole roster, and this pressure is on this Car-Jitsu half, but Disabled with a nice pop towards the wall. Finds the bump on his opposing captain there as Indisposed is just going to bang it off the backboard maybe, but met well by JD. Not a whole lot of boost, but he does get the clear. Is his teammate there? No. They actually got demoed there, but D.I.D.H.E with a clear of his own, maybe trying to find his teammate. Shot on target by Xander, but cleared away by Disabled.
Indeed, nice little save coming out from him. Swamp Donkey pops up and over one. Bumped, unfortunately, here. This one's going to be almost a center ball, but somehow gets, pinched back over to their side, so that's a little unfortunate there. Xander on the ball. Low boost, not quite able to catch up with this one. Maybe looking for a center pass here. Swamp Donkey trying to fade over, maybe looking for a bump on Indisposed. He does get it eventually. Disabled takes over, pop one over. Xander trying to get a shot on. What a crazy shot. D.I.D.H.E makes a diving save. I think that was maybe going a little bit wide right anyway. D.I.D.H.E gets another touch here. JD trying to get an early shot off, but isn't quite able to beat out D.I.D.H.E the defender.
Yeah, I believe that was D.I.D.H.E though, also trying to find that demo, and I can definitely tell that both of these teams have actually started to implement way more demos here. Indisposed goes for the reset, unable to find it though, blocked by Xander. Shot, that is a missile though, but not quite on target though, ringing off that side post. Cleared away by D.I.D.H.E, but it's not over. JD, Swamp Donkey going for the second attempt, finds the 50 towards the sidewall. Xander with the dominance off the ceiling. Can he find the touch mid? No, he cannot, but JD can't find a touch as well. Swamp Donkey is forced to make some sort of clear to keep this pressure on, but Disabled with a great redirect. Xander unable to find the touch as his ball is just going to bounce towards the corner. Swamp Donkey unable to find contact. Disabled with the shot maybe, but no, shot wide.
Indeed, I will say this series this game hasn't been nearly as offensive heavy for either team, I don't think. They're kind of putting up some offense, but I haven't seen any really crazy shots. Obviously, there's the one that rung off the crossbar there for Car-Jitsu. But other than that, obviously, we see 0-0 as clock winds down. We see a little bit of pressure coming up from D.I.D.H.E. The ball hits the ground, and we have a 0-0 overtime. which I honestly, I do like to see, especially since Car-Jitsu did lose last game. Obviously, showing a little bit more life on defense and offense here. But again, we have no goals yet, so I'm looking forward to see how this one ends.
Yeah, overtime, especially in semifinals. This is you're on your last life for both teams. If you lose, this is it. And if you're Car-Jitsu, you definitely want to win this overtime in particular, because if you don't, D.I.D.H.E will be on match point, and all they have to do is win one more, and your Season 7 Div B run is over. Xander get the clear towards the corner. This is just going to fall right in front of Daryl, unable to get the touch, but JD unable to find something. He is just going to knock it straight down in front of net. It's a little bit scary. Daryl maybe shot on target, and no one was able to get the clear.
I don't even know what happened there.
Xander got caught up on his captain, and no one was just able to get that flip over. Very unfortunate there indeed. Someone needed to go for that. D.I.D.H.E up 3-1 match point.
That is unfortunate. Two defenders in the perfect spot, and none of them able to react in time here. As we see D.I.D.H.E almost, or they're on match point against the #1 seed going into the elimination bracket here. Obviously, a lot of saves kind of coming up from Car-Jitsu, but I would like to see a lot more action from Car-Jitsu on the offensive side of things. They're getting okay pressure, but they're just not capitalizing on those opportunities. And I almost want to say they're playing boomer ball, like they're getting it to D.I.D.H.E's half. They're just not doing anything with it. So like they have what it takes. Because obviously we saw them take that first game. See, what a crazy save coming up from JD right off the crossbar here. But D.I.D.H.E just doing a great job at not double committing, making the most of their offensive attempts, and not only that, but doing very well maintaining composure on defense.
Yeah, maybe though. Disable with the flick gets it over JD, and like I said last time, D.I.D.H.E scored first, and they scored first again, and we all know how that went. I for one, definitely do not want to see this gentleman sweep.
Yes, that would not necessarily be the best, but I will say, again, D.I.D.H.E, their first appearance on the main stage. So being the #4 seed, maybe it was just that, that low energy room down there that was kind of bringing them down, but obviously main stage bringing a whole different vibe for them. Here's we see almost a crazy shot on coming up from Daryl, not quite able to put that one away. Swamp Donkey is up, not quite able to get the touch here. Indisposed puts one to the side. Xander trying to go for a redirect. Swamp Donkey almost getting a crazy redirect around two defenders here. JD, ego challenge, great challenge by him. Is able to make some contact. Daryl is up early. JD going for a little center pass here. Almost a crazy shot coming out from Xander. Swamp Donkey puts this one center. Is anybody there? Xander not quite able to get there in time.
Yeah, Car-Jitsu, they need to find a goal fast so they can gain this momentum. Maybe Swamp Donkey gets it past one, though. This is just going to fall straight in front of Xander, but knocked away by Daryl. JD with the 50, though, off the sidewall. Bit awkward takeoff there, but he does maybe find his captain. Shot rings off the top bar, and they find the equalizer.
I will say that is what I like seeing here. We know JD has been going crazy in his aerial game recently, and I do want to say that was maybe a little pinch there. But JD able to get that great aerial center pass to his captain, Swamp Donkey. And I will say, if you can somehow kind of like almost take your offense at your own pace, get the ball down within time, and then get those laser shots in, especially from a captain like Swamp Donkey, you'll have great success on offense. Great success. Little Borat reference there. But JD puts one up the corner. Almost a great shot, but Swamp Donkey able to knock this one away.
And honestly, those passing plays might just be that missing piece that Car-Jitsu is missing. I think that's the first time I've seen a passing play from that team in particular. They just seem to be first man, do something cool, make them mess up. Second man, just knock it in. And that seems to be the job for Swamp Donkey, though. Maybe gets the double, but it's cleared away by Daryl, that second man. A little bit too patient, in my opinion. But he does find the bump, though. That's free. But Xander unable to find it, and JD shooting from the hip, unable to find the back of the net.
JD, I know I was praising him earlier for his shooting as of recently, but with the... Oh, my God! Oh, what a save! Oh, my God! Oh my God, that was almost an insane shot, but holy, what a save from Xander. Little double tap off the crossbar, knocks that one away, keeping them alive here in this game number 5. We see this one slowly rolling. Swamp Donkey pops this one way high. Indisposed is up, barely has the resources necessary. JD pops this one also high up and away. Hard up the ceiling just a little bit. Disabled, able to put this one away here. Indisposed off the corner. Looks to get maybe a 50 with Xander. Just opts to pop this one out. JD off the sidewall, redirected by Daryl. Swamp Donkey almost there, but bumped away by Daryl.
Yeah, but 2 minutes. You're equal here. Car-Jitsu, they need to find that leading goal. Swamp Donkey, though, maybe second double dipping there for the double tap. Not quite on target. Xander trying to get that pressure on, but met well by Daryl, who opts to pass it mid. Unable to find his teammate, though. There wasn't anyone there. Daryl, though, with the boost grab, leaving Xander out to dry. Disabled with a great 50 and disposes up. Maybe redirect, but not enough oomph. This is just going to fall right in front of JD, who clears it away. Swamp Donkey with a great touch, but not realizing he didn't have enough boost there to follow it up. Met well by, I believe that was Xander. Ball off the sidewall, indisposed, trying to get another goal of his own that is just going to fall straight in, but Swamp Donkey is there.
Indeed, a minute 25 left. Almost a great shot coming out here. Indisposed is on. Able to get this one almost in, but not quite, though. Swamp Donkey looking a bit awkward. And I will say, there is 20 seconds left in game number 6 in the Parched Hit and Fennec series, and Hit and Fennec just scored, tying up the series 1-1. So that's definitely coming down to a nail-biter. Probably going to be an OT game there. But Swamp Donkey on, trying to get a shot, something center. Not quite able to do that one here. This one almost another center ball. JD maybe going to try to go forward here. Waits to, for that little touch here. Daryl is on, goes for a shot, doesn't quite get that one to go. And 48 seconds and counting here. Car-Jitsu looking like they have a little bit of offensive pressure. And I will say, Hit and Fennec and Parched just went into overtime, tied at 1-1.
Yeah, Parched wins that overtime. They take that series and they secure their spot into grand finals, but that's not the match that we're watching here. Car-Jitsu versus D.I.D.H.E, 1-1, 30 seconds left. Do we see an overtime or do we see a 0-second goal, Risser style? Swamp Donkey taking it towards his pitch, finds a great 50 off the corner though. Does he get the follow-up touch? No, met well by his opposing captain, who is denying any sort of pressure that this Car-Jitsu team is trying to make. Xander, though, with the Dominus hitbox 50, this ball is just going to go straight towards the middle, but no one is there. Swamp Donkey with the 50. That could be dangerous. The waterfall. Is anyone there? Disabled is, but JD able to knock it up to find hopefully a goal of his own. He finds the touch. Maybe gets it over one. Backboard. Xander is there! Finding that 0-second goal. Car-Jitsu steals game number 5.
Indeed, what an aerial play coming up from JD, maintaining that possession, getting one last touch on that last defender. Swamp Donkey, tactical fake on that second man, and Xander playing a very, very risky third man, but hits the open net like somebody can't, putting that one away for Car-Jitsu with 0 seconds.
It's all love up here in the booth, JD. But you got to admit, though, that shot from Xander was something they absolutely needed. Xander was lying and waiting exactly where he needed to be. Honestly, I was hoping that wasn't going to go into overtime because they don't have the greatest track record, Car-Jitsu, in this series for overtime. But JD, though, able to get that touch off the backboard. You saw Swamp, and honestly, I want to say that's what kind of flubbed them up. They saw Swamp Donkey up in the air. They had to respect his shot, but they weren't expecting Xander to be there either. And you got to account for all the chess pieces on the board. JD, though, is left alone here at the start and disabled, finding the goal yet again early on, able to get the beautiful flick over JD.
Indeed, just a tough spot to be in if you're JD. It's pretty much like, okay, do you think he's going to get a good flick, or do you think he's not going to get a good flick? We will see there, and he took the gamble. Unfortunately, did get a good flick. Did he take a very early lead, I want to say, with like 2 seconds in. But D.I.D.H.E obviously taking that early lead here. Swamp Donkey gets a nice little 50. Up off the corner, Disabled is able to get this one up and away. Xander is on, bumped away by Disabled, indisposed, puts this one on the sidewall. Eric, a.k.a. Swamp Donkey, is up. Daryl is there, putting this one back over. This one almost might be in, but Swamp Donkey able to make the save here. And another little update, we have a 2-minute and 50-second overtime. Hit and Fennec and Parched still tied up at 1-1 in game number 6 here. But we see a nice little offensive pressure coming out from D.I.D.H.E.
Disabled, hitting it towards his favorite corner, maybe indisposed, unable to find shot on target there, gets 50'd out, but Daryl keeping this pressure on, sends it mid, but no one's there. Open that opportunity, maybe Swamp Donkey trying to mess it up, but the bump off the last defender, and it's just a free tap and goal for indisposed.
Indeed, just unfortunate low boost attempt there. Swamp Donkey trying to take the gamble on that big clear unfortunately did play a little bit too high. Maybe we have some technical difficulties coming out here. So we will resume that here in a second. But just great offense coming out from D.I.D.H.E, able to capitalize on those opportunities here. And I guess while we're waiting on that stuff to get fixed up here, I'll try to narrate a little bit what's going on with the Hit and Fennec and Parch series. 3 minute and 45 second overtime. Hit and Fennec down 2-3. They pop one up off the backboard. Paskey gets a nice little redirect. Penn is up. Puts this one into the corner. Almost a great second man attempt here. We see a nice little redirect coming up from Paskey. This one's almost on net. Not quite able to put it in. We see Penn on. Puts this one off the left wall. This one's still hovering on Hit and Fennec's half. We see Penn going up yet again, putting a shot on. Ooh. A double commit on defense from Parch. We see another one up, almost another shot on. Unfortunately, Hit and Fennec not able to put that one away, and I will stop right there. Still tied up 1-1. We were at a 4 minute and 20 second overtime in that series here. We see a resume coming out from Car-Jitsu half, and we see some early pressure coming out from Car-Jitsu, but who knows what's going to happen here. Really hope that Car-Jitsu can kind of wave this one off and capitalize and get 2 goals back here.
Yeah, Swamp Donkey does get it all over one, but I believe that was Daryl clearing it away off the corner. Xander with not a whole lot of boost, though, does get the 50 indisposed, is there. JD might have been pushed a little bit too far back, and that might go in, but no. Rings off the side post. That third man needs to be a little bit more patient. They need to not creep up so far because you get plays like that where it goes in. And ladies and gentlemen, Hit and Fennec take Parch to game number 7.
Indeed, almost, I think it was a 4 minute and 49 second overtime for the Hit and Fennec and Parch. Hit and Fennec just coming back late in this series, showing that they are the #1 seed regular season for a reason. Obviously, Game 7 will definitely be intense over on that B stage there, but we got some more technical difficulties. And I don't know if you saw, but in cams, hopefully you saw, maybe on stream, but who is it disabled? Had both hands off the keyboard when that slow roller didn't go in. As we see, thank you, Ro, for pulling that one up here so we can watch that. But yeah, just a crazy long overtime for Hit and Fennec and Parch. Fighting Hamster putting that one in to end it. Going crazy there, my goodness. But yeah, life on the line for both Hit and Fennec and Parch now. Loser goes home, winner goes to the grand finals here. We see another start up for this game number 6 here. D.I.D.H.E and Car-Jitsu. D.I.D.H.E leading here, looking very dominant offensively. Car-Jitsu looking to get their first on the board here. Hopefully they can do so soon.
I don't know. The Indisposed has been playing very well. Disabled as well. I was just about to say it as I say his name. Disabled with the slot upper bins. Somebody bring out the protractor.
Bro knows his angles and knows how to aerial here. But D.I.D.H.E just doing a phenomenal job on offense, getting the defensive Car-Jitsu awkward, and just they constantly have pressure on the ball. They're not letting Car-Jitsu get any free touches here. You see JD trying to catch up to this ball here. Swamp Donkey puts this one to the corner. What a great shot from Xander. Xander gets there first on the board here. Hopefully going to carry some of this momentum to get another 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is a pulse here for Car-Jitsu. They find their first goal. Only took them half a game here, but 2 minutes, 34 seconds. That is way more than enough time to find those 2. If not, more room to maybe take the lead. We'll just have to see. Time will tell there. Swamp Donkey with a pinch, though, but the unfortunate double commit coming from Xander and Swamp Donkey, leaving JD with not a whole lot of boost to try to do something. Xander unable to get the read, but Swamp Donkey is there to take over off the backboard. Daryl is just going to dive straight on in. He does not want this Car-Jitsu team to have any sort of comeback, and why would he? This team has been playing pretty good so far, but D.I.D.H.E have been playing a little bit better. Swamp Donkey, though, does get the touch. Disabled, gets it past one, tries to get the 50 on Xander, but he's patient. Dominus flick, maybe it's an open net, but Indisposed is unable. JD is there, but no! Where are we going?
JD, I'm not gonna say it again, man. I think the goal speaks for its own. Well, the quote-unquote goal, but oh my goodness, you can't be missing those.
The
Xander,
theoretical goal.
The theoretical goal here, JD, passing it up to Xander.
Goal.
This one's popped up. Swamp Donkey might have some boost. JD gets up early, but is 50'd away by Indisposed. Daryl takes over, putting this one a little bit of pressure on Car-Jitsu half. It looks like D.I.D.H.E pretty much has like slim to no boost here. Indisposed might cut on Xander. Xander pops this one up and over. Indisposed is on. Nice little 50. Swamp Donkey up early. This one could go down quite hard. Swamp Donkey goes for the demo. J.D. tries to put this one center. Hopefully they can make the most out of this opportunity, and not quite.
Yeah, it looks like Swamp Donkey has resorted to just demo chasing here. And with a minute left, you got to do something. But over on B stage, it seems to be energetic as well. 5 goals has already been scored, and not even a minute has been played.
Yeah, 40 seconds have passed in game number 7, and there's 5 goals in the Hidden Fennec Parts series. So that's how that's going. 0 defense being played. But J.D. popping this one up. 35 seconds left here. J.D. putting this one almost a little bit center. Disabled. Does have it off the backboard. Xander up early. Almost a crazy pinch goal. D.I.D.H.E maybe a little bit awkward off the side ball. Oh my God, Eric playing a little bit too far up. Not quite able to put that one away. Oh my goodness, open that opportunity, but the second man pushed up a little bit too far.
Someone just needs to be there. But Swamp Donkey, though, does find a great touch. Maybe gets the 50, but disabled. This is just going to ring this. This could be a free shot, but J.D. hitting it off the backboard. D.I.D.H.E is there, maybe, but unable to get the touch. Met well by D.I.D.H.E, but Swamp Donkey is there. Pops it mid. Xander is lying and waiting. He seems to be the shooter for this team. But, ladies and gentlemen, D.I.D.H.E taking this game 4-1 gentleman's sweep. Oh, not quite. Not quite, but they do take this series and they secure their spot in the grand finals.
Yes, D.I.D.H.E just looking so dominant and so consistent with their offense. And I will say, J.D., 3 shots and just not many points. Wish I got to see a little more from him in this series. Just unfortunate luck for them. But D.I.D.H.E, again, just looking so consistent on offense and defense and maneuvering the ball in ways that, they made the opposite team just super awkward. I don't know if you can see it on stream at all, but Hidden Fennec and Parts series tied up 3-3 with 3 minutes left. So very heavy scoring offense for them here in game number 7. Obviously, you're going to be coming down to the wire. Very both offensively heavy teams here. 2:50 left, approaching half the game. We see who is that? J.D.H.E going up for the ball here. Tries to get a flip reset, but is blocked away by Fighting Hamster.
Yeah, Valandro, though, with the touch off the side. Penn able to get it there. 3-3, though, in game number 7. That is astonishing, like you said before. All offense, no defense. But we see Penn getting the clear off the corner. A bit of an unfortunate bounce, though, as we see Paskey up. Soft touch, maybe dropping it down for J.D.H.E, but not quite on target.
Oh, my
Paskey,
God.
The miracle save from Penn.
Oh, my God. What defense coming up from Hidden Fennec. They say they deserve to be here for a reason. Paskey tries to get a clear here. Double commit coming up from Penn and Fighting Hamster. J.D.H.E pops this one high in his own corner. This one's going to be floating for Fighting Hamster. Almost a crazy center pass. Styles goes for the bump. J.D.H.E is on, goes for a little read here. Might be going for a pass for Paskey. Not quite. Paskey gets this one popped up to himself. Opts not to go for it. Let's Penn try to get something going here. This one's cleared back over to Hidden Fennec.
Yeah, Paskey, though, touch, unable to get it a little bit further down there, but J.D.H.E with the missile cleared away by Fighting Hamster. Styles trying to get a touch of his own. A little bit of a double commit, though. Leaves Penn a little bit awkward. Opts for the half flip, clear flick thing. Fighting Hamster, though, does get an amazing read off the corner. As we see, I believe that is Paskey. Yep, Paskey in the Fennec. Oh, he switched cars. But Penn is there, tries to get the pop, finds the 50 in the midfield, and this ball is just going to careen towards the sidewall. Paskey does find the touch, but he's awkward. That ball is going straight towards the net, but J.D.H.E is there with that third man rotation. But J.D.H.E, not a whole lot of boost, and I believe J.D.H.E is one of those players where he's not quite the flashiest, but he plays probably one of the best vanilla Rocket Leagues that I've ever seen.
Yes, I will say, I'm pretty sure J.D.H.E doesn't have air roll bound. He doesn't use air roll at all, which is insane with how good he is. But anyway, Paskey is up, tries to put this one off the sidewall. Penn a little bit misread here. Fighting Hamster around him. He is the last defender, but Styles is able to rotate back. He's up early for this one. Going to put this one up the sidewall. Maybe going to go for a pinch attempt. Is met in the air by J.D.H.E. Penn pops around one. We do have a third man, Paskey, there, able to put this one off to the sidewall, looking maybe a tiny bit awkward. Fighting Hamster with the shot on, almost a bar down shot. Not quite able to put that one. Penn trying to get another rebound, doesn't put that one away. Slow bounce shot, out and in. 25 seconds left. Oh my God, the sub of Styles coming in clutch.
Penn giving off little hints of JD there, unable to find the ball on target, but Styles able to seal the deal, taking this lead. 25 seconds left. Do we see Hit and Fennec secure their spot over in Grand Finals?
Indeed, 25 seconds left, still enough time to make something happen here. Jado gonna go off the wall, gets it around Fighting Hamster, gonna maybe go for the pinch here. Unfortunately, didn't quite go the direction that they wanted here. Paskey on the ball, gets this one to the corner, popped up and away by Penn. 10 seconds left. Parch are gonna have to turn this one around right now. Unfortunate read coming up from Philandro. He's gonna try to go up, bumped away. Fighting Hamster on. Ball has to stay up. Clock hit 0. Ground hit by the ball, and Hit and Fennec stay alive and punch their way to the Grand Finals.
Parched versus D.I.D.H.E. That are not parched. Hit and Fennec versus D.I.D.H.E. The 1 seed versus the 4 seed, giving hints of thick of it versus Straw Hats there. That Grand Finals is going to be one to watch.
I do think you did misspoke. You misspoke. D.I.D.H.E. 4 seed. I believe Hit and Fennec is the 2 seed in this one.
2 seed.
Car-Jitsu was the 1 seed, but fortunately they were taken out. But Hit and Fennec, oh my goodness, their life was on the line. They were down 3-1 in this series. That was insane here. So shout out to Hit and Fennec for staying alive. They're able to take down Parched. So we will see that series here soon, as it looks like we got winner's interview. Who wants to? You got it?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper.
On shoot.
On shoot. One go.
Winner does the interview.
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors.
You got it. We got a winner's interview coming up here. Cosmic beat me in rock, paper, scissors. Make your way over here, Mr. Interviewee. Toss on the headset here. There you go.
All right. First of all, Disabled, congratulations on securing your spot in the Grand Finals. I gotta ask, how does it feel?
Thank you. It feels great. You know, we didn't really start off the best yesterday. You know, we got swept, and then game 5 for the second series. So we came in today, you know, fresh mindset. We were like, okay, if we just peak, easy win. So came in and got it done.
Yeah, during that Swiss stage, honestly, I was getting a little bit scared for you guys. You guys weren't quite playing like up to, I believe, was like the standard that you guys hold yourselves to. But you guys do end up knocking the 1 seed from that Swiss stage out, securing your spot. Going up against Hit and Fennec, is there like any sort of like fear, I guess, going like with them being your opponents in the Grand Finals? Any sort of game plan you guys got cooking up already?
Not really. You know, I can't really leak the strat like that, but I think that if we can come in and win this game, then we can win our next. So I think, you know, I just think that we can absolutely get the win, and we're so capable of it. We just need to play up to how we know we can play.
Yeah, I mean, you guys played super well, especially Izor did mention that a lot of your games was on that B stage, and the game that you guys end up playing on the main stage is the one that you guys win, the one that you guys absolutely needed to win to make that Grand Finals. But congratulations yet again. Good luck there in the Grand Finals.
Thank you. I appreciate it.